You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
This would be a portion of the program where I just bitch and moan because I hate these matchups as a fan. I think they're highway robbery. They should come with like a six-pack for every fan at the gate if you're paying for a ticket to get in. And I used to just think that's just wish list stuff for me to complain and hope they go away. Looking into the new era, strength of schedule, expanded playoff, non-conference scheduling importance, what's the future for these types of matchups? If we're already questioning group of five collisions, where does the FCS type of matchup fall?
Yeah, I don't want to say that these kinds of games are on life support, but you're coming toward a point to where these are going to be fewer and fewer, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, unless you're one of these schools that survives on these paydays. I mean, I don't know what UAPB's budget is, but you're going to put a big check in their back pocket to play this game that allows them to survive a bit. And so some may be saying, well, what do I care about that level? Well, and again, I guess depends on where you're from or who you root for and all that. But it is I hate to say it like this, but it's the truth. It is another component of a feeder system. I mean, UAPB actually lost one of the receivers because you heard Zach McKinnell talking earlier, like one of the receivers, who are they going to throw to now? One of them is transferred to Oklahoma. So anyway, I don't, but with the SEC kind of making this change to play 9 conference games, I don't know what the ACC will do, but that'll give 3 of the 4 power leagues all playing the same amount of conference games. And that could eliminate more of these kinds of matchups, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for the fan. If you're a fan or like the TV exec, this is great news. If you are a coach or an assistant trying to develop depth on your team and all that, you like these games because it allows you to get more guys in the game and keep the harmony and get them some snaps that are non-stressed, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's I would say big picture wise, we may be getting closer to where these are much, much fewer, especially with this strength of schedule component you mentioned.
At least institute the 6-man high school football rule. If you 45 them in the second half, let's go home. We ain't got to stay till the end. Let's get the drone show in. Go ahead and get them up in the air. Let's roll. Let's save the PA guy's voice for the next week. That's going to hopefully be a lot of Red Raider touchdowns and whatnot. Chris, look, we haven't spent a ton of time on this kind of thing, switching gears this offseason. There's been ample opportunity to do so, but I don't care about lists. I don't care about perceived internet slights. I don't care about Joe Blow TikTok or Twitter account that covers, quote unquote, college football and how they see a power ranking set from this locale or that locale that they've never been to, never really observed, whatever. Have I made it clear? I don't generally care about these things, but I feel like it's starting to pile up a bit when it comes to the disrespect. And I'm talking about one guy in particular, and this now bled over into the season as maybe, I don't know, you were taking in some college football over the weekend. I want to get to some results at large in just a moment. But first, this little beef that I've got to cook with you. Not with you, but with media, I suppose. And this is related to Behren Morton, number 2. Maybe some of you noticed this graphic. If you were watching an ESPN college football broadcast over the weekend, you might have seen a list of notable returning Big 12 quarterbacks. Sam Levitt, Sawyer Robertson, Rocco Becht, Avery Johnson, Josh Hoover, Noah Fafita, Jalen Daniels represented. That's the end of the list. Behren Morton just at the last minute, Chris, on the receiving end of a little bit more motivation, I guess, going into the year. He's had plenty. And I got to tell you, in some ways, I mean, we've talked about this. I can understand some skepticism as injury has been a consistent part of his storyline. And that's limited some of what we've seen, even if he has been available for games, I guess, over the years. But this is even a little bit of a straw that's breaking my camel back here, because some of these guys he outright beat, statistically surpassed, etc. Take your pick. And he didn't even deserve a mention. I don't know if you noticed this over the weekend or not, Chris, or if it would even trigger you to the degree that it kind of has me. But I got beef with this. Is it grinding your gears?
Yeah, Behren beat 3 of these guys, and I'm not going to sit here and listen to somebody excuse Beren's absence on a graphic like this because of injury concerns or whatever. Why is Jalen Daniels pictured? He tapped on the top of his helmet last year and was like, you know what, I think I'm going to sit this thing out. I mean, he's always hurt, always, and when healthy, he's very, very good. And we'll talk about Kansas in a little bit, but. Yeah, it's not even, if you're looking to put a graphic like this together, and odds are this is somebody on the production team. Maybe they had an axe to grind. Maybe they have no idea about anything Big 12 related or Fox related or whatever, wherever this was. Because I guess this would actually have been on ESPN. So maybe they are just. I don't know, but because eight looks better than 7, it's easier on the eyes. You could have.
It defies all logic. You're trying to come up with something,
and like
there's nothing.
So I think he threw for more yards than most of these guys. He threw for more touchdown passes than most of these guys. He beat 3 of them. Yeah, it's just kind of a weird omission, honestly. And his team is ranked in the top 25 in the preseason. Like I don't know why. I don't know the point there, unless it's just pure stupidity or you were looking to take a shot, but Noah Fafita doesn't belong on there. I mean, sorry. He was supposed to be a top quarterback last year. He was throwing to a top 10 pick. They sucked. Guess what? Behren beat them too. Caleb Douglas was catching passes over Dakario Davis, who's one of the top corners in the country from a transfer standpoint. Caleb Douglas lit him up for over 100 yards receiving. Who was throwing those balls to him? I mean, and Behren played all of his games last year. He was healthy for all 12. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it is. People noticed. I don't know why. Behren will have his opportunity to tell his story, is kind of what I wrote out on social media. And I don't want to say that like he's making notes and all that, but he's aware of some of this. I actually had somebody very important that saw what I had said on social media, and they said, people haven't seen the real Behren Morton since the first half at Oklahoma State. That's the last time that people got to see him when he was truly healthy. And he was a kid at that point. And I remember Mike Gundy after that game was like, that guy's going to be a problem for years to come for everybody. Like we are in trouble. Like, I mean, this is not going to be good for the rest of the league and this and that. And he has battled injuries. I certainly get it. But now he's a mature, grown adult. And I think he's now well studied, and that wasn't always the case, as he's learning. And it's the way with a lot of quarterbacks. But they felt like he was going to prove everybody wrong this year. We'll see. He will get that opportunity, but I will be as excited to watch him on Saturday and watch him do his thing as much as anything else all the rest of the year, because he's largely going to decide this thing. He's going to kind of, make it, break it, that's just the way that this thing is going to go. And yeah, some of these other components are absolutely going to have their say so too. But yeah, I was a bit drawn off sides by this.
Look, today's episode brought to you by FanDuel, and August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For only 24 hours, FanDuel is going to be giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP or eyeing a long shot division winner or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment with FanDuel Futures Day, August 26th. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. August 26th with FanDuel. Play your game. Nobody's getting in the huddle like, be included in an ESPN graphic on 3.
No.
They're saying Big 12 champs and things like that on 3. So we're not here like Chase being included on it. But that one even felt like beyond the pale, because it's just like, hey, here's a rando graphic of Big 12 QBs. Surely he would make this a top 7 or 8. And maybe we should attribute it to stupidity. I don't know.
That's all I can come up with. I mean, the guy's 14-4 as a starter, won 8 regular season games last year. Quarterback wins. against the two teams that won the league, and one of them on the road. They were undefeated at the time. I don't know. I just, very bizarre to me. But this wasn't the first time that he had been slighted or down the list of QB rankings and all that stuff. But again, the games are here. He will get the opportunity to put the pen in his hand and write his story, and then you get to see the results. So
it could have been like some bald-headed chick that thinks a blue Detroit Lions jersey with the name Sanders on it is for Shadur. Who knows what ESPN's working with? Chris, before we get out of here, can we reflect on the weekend that was, including some of our Big 12 brethren, which also included brethren fighting a fatherin in one instance? What a wild start.